I usually don't do reviews about anything online. Like, I don't give reviews about anything at all. But this one is just too bad. Like, I kept receiving too many complaints in hundreds about same prop firm the whole of last year. So this time I just had to do it. And if I'm to give awards to the worst prop firm out there, I will 100% completely hand it over to FundedNext as the worst prop firm ever. I will show you everything right now as regards the review, and if FundedNext has any issue with this, we should meet in court. Like, it's just so bad, like really bad. And I don't know if it's the accuracy of the strategy that I was using that made them got scared of payout, or they are just purely stealing from innocent traders out there. I mean, profit target on step 1 was hit within 5 days. Profit target of step 2 was hit within 6 days. All was perfectly respected with zero drawdown on the accounts. But yet, and oh, I will also show you the exact strategy that I was using so that you can pass your own funded accounts just on a verified prop firm, not on FundedNext. Except you just want to catch fund without receiving a payout or a funded account to begin with. Just like other several hundreds of traders who have been complaining that I'm standing for now. And if there's anyone here that has a claim, or you know anyone that has a claim that they've been withdrawing from FundedNext, any amount at all over $1,000, please drop a message with my support and I will triple every single amount that you've ever withdrawn from FundedNext.
Yeah. Lambo, faster, NASDAQ, making that money like Elon Musk. FX, Forex, big money, T-Rex, any which way we making the green. That's what they say, me and my G's, we work as a team. That's what they say, yeah. Tiger, Meta, Trader, MP5.
Now, first things first, this video will be divided into 3 sections. First, I will show you the accounts that were passed and the history of these accounts through MetaTrader and also on the FundedNext dashboard. Second, I will show you FundedNext response after passing these accounts flawlessly. Third, I will show you the exact strategy I use in passing this account within 5 days, and this should work on literally any legit prop firm out there. I naturally don't want to do this, but a lot of traders have been complaining and they've been requesting that I do a review on FundedNext for some reason, right? And so I couldn't just like blindly start doing a review of something that I've never really used at all before. So I decided to get an account, a 2-step account, and go through the normal process that a normal regular trader would go through. So I decided to experience same thing that traders are experiencing out there. So I went through the process of passing the account, of course, like follow the exact rules and everything of passing the account. I really wanted to know why traders keep complaining about FundedNext and very little guys are talking about it. Like, I really wanted to know, because this year I don't think any trader has that time to waste. So I'm going to help you save your time. First things first, let's look at the accounts that were passed. And let's also look at the history of these accounts through FundedNext platform and also on our MetaTrader 5 history. Okay, here's the account. It's loading up now. Right, good. So here's the account. It's actually a 50K account, as you can see, right? And then there's the login ID, right? And this is actually the current balance on the account, right? This is about 55K, right? Now, we're supposed to add 8%, but 8% was kind of like boring, and we have 5 minimum trading days. So I just have to make it 10%, right? So if you notice, the minimum trading days is 5 days. So yeah, I used up the 5 days, exactly 5 days. Well, technically it was like 4 days, but since it's like 5 trading days, I just had to make it like a round figure of 10%. Okay, now if we look at daily limits, daily loss limits, everything is okay, right? Minimum trading days, everything is okay. Profit target, of course, everything is okay. You can see the profit target is 4,000, right? And then we're able to hit 5,000 instead, right? Now, on this account, there's basically no drawdown, right? Let's look at the analytics. Here's our analytics. I'm doing this so that you understand that this account is extremely clean. Now, you can see the charts just ascending like that until target was hit, right? You can just see it, right? That was just like flawless, right? Good. Now, if you look at all our trading days, this was the Monday, and then on this Monday, we made about 2.5K on this Monday, right? Now, on the Tuesday of it, we took a loss. That was $151. of red, right? That's how this day actually closed, Tuesday. Now the Wednesday, we decided to just go a little again, this time 400, because if we continue at the rate of 2.5k, yeah, we'll just hit the target within a day or two, right? So okay, so this is like the fourth day, right? On Thursday, this was like 1.5k, right? Actually, on the Thursday of it here, we already hit the target. Like 4,000 was already completed. As a matter of fact, it was over $4,000, which is the 8%, right? But then since the minimum trading days is 5, we just had to make it 10%. We would have easily just opened any trade for that day and it's passed. But then yeah, I just decided to make it 10%, right? Exactly 10%, which became like over $5,000. This account is very clean. That's what I'm trying to let you know. But this was the step 1 of the account, 8%. Now, let's look at the step 2 of this account. Okay, here's the step 2 of this account on FundedNext. You can see it, right? This is actually the step 2 of the account. And you can see a login ID here, just in case. And yeah. So everything is actually good here. Our target has been hit because our target on this account is just 5%. You can see that, right? So this literally 5%, everything was completed. And this time around, we used 6 trading days because the year was just starting and the volatility of the market was messed up. If you check out this, you should see that on Monday, we hit just over $700, right? Tuesday of it, we hit over $1,400. Wednesday of it, didn't go very well, so this was about $900, right, in minus, right, just over $900 in minus. And then if you check out for the Friday of it, this is just about $1,300 of profits that were actually hit. It seems like the analytics here is not fully complete. I don't know the reason for that, but I guess they might also have an explanation. Now, so far so good. You would agree with me that this account was very clean, like everything was very clean. Now let me show you the history of our trades on our MetaTrader now also. Okay, if we check out our trades now, this is what you should be having, right? This is what you should be having on our trades, right? So if you check out our final balance, you should notice that we are having a balance of about $55,000 there. Step 2 account, right? You can just see that, right? You can see that. And now we're having our step 2 account. You can just see that, right? This is what we're having. And if we look at it, these are balanced currently, right? This is just a balance currently, just about 52,648. Now, just to make sure that all the trades are clear and transparent as possible, I'm going to show you also using my mobile device. Okay, so this is the account on our mobile device, right? And you can just see it. Account completed, first step. Now, these are accounts, right? You can see it, right? This is just the accounts. And if we go straight to our history now, this is what we're having, right? No trade last week, last month, right? So this is it. Now, these are actually the account. These are actually the accounts. And you can see all the trades. Let me go slowly this time around. These are all the trades, right? Good. But step 2 now, okay? So let's just see what we're having. These are step 2. All right, so we're actually having something like this now. So this is just what we're having. You can see all the trades here also on our mobile view, right? Everything looks as clean as possible. Everything looks as transparent as possible. Now, let's go to the main stuff now. The problem that FundedNext had with these accounts. You see, after passing a FundedNext account, they have a sketchy way of filtering you out of the system if they notice that what you are using is extremely accurate, or the strategy you are using is extremely accurate. They get to filter you out, and what they use is KYC. Right? It's KYC. Now they tell you to do a KYC. After that, they can easily decline and use that as a tool to knock you out of the game. This is what a lot of traders can complain about, including trades getting triggered on their accounts without their knowing. In my case, that did not happen, but the KYC aspect of it happened this time around. That's where they can easily refuse you a funded account when they discover that the strategy that you are using is extremely accurate, which is not good for their business. Or they discover that if you continue like that, you are going to withdraw some really crazy amounts from their firm. So what they do is they come up with things like you were trading from a prohibited location, which which was what happened to me. Several traders kept complaining last year about doing a review on this prop firm as regards this KYC problem. Imagine waking up and seeing that your account is in crazy drawdown. Why? For nothing. It just triggered itself. That didn't happen in my case. What happened was the KYC aspect, right? And after all the trades are done already, everything closed, it was time for them to issue a funded account. This time around, they dropped a notification after trying to do KYC that you close your last trade from a prohibited location. And they said that that location was the United States. That even though they do not ban the United States, but they also do not allow IP addresses from the United States, which doesn't make sense. But even at that, let's assume it makes a lot of sense. No trade was triggered from the United States. No trade was triggered using a VPN either. Nothing related to the US IP address was there. As a matter of fact, that's just not it. They literally decided that the trade that was closed was a sell position. A sell position. And I've shown you the history of this account, and I think all you saw there were all buy positions, all buys, like all buys. I showed you the stuff using my PC. I showed you the stuff using a normal FundedNext dashboard. I also showed you using a mobile device. I don't think you saw any sell position there, right? Now, meaning that they were using a template, and funny enough, this template was telling me that the last trade I closed was closed from the US, or somehow I closed the position from the US, and then that trade was a sell position to make things worse. Let's not talk too much. Let me show you the email that they sent. Okay, now here it is, right? You can just see it, right? Trading ethics and standard notification. This is the very message that has been used to decline a lot of traders, like just repeatedly like that. Is literally the last line of defense for FundedNext. So they noticed that, okay, it seems like this guy might take a lot of cash from us, right? So let's use our last line of defense. It's called trading ethics and standard notification. So they just generate it out of nowhere and tell you that you were using a US IP address, and then that's it. So for this stuff, they told me that my last trade was what I closed, and then it was a US IP address somehow, right? Somehow. And then they told me that this last trade was actually a sell position. Now, in zooming it in, you should see this was actually the date for the last trade. It was literally the exact time of the last trade, right? And they said the location was United States, and they said it was a sell. Now, this market sell, if we should try going a little bit professional, when you look at it, on a MetaTrader log, it might reflect as a market sell, right? When you close a buy position, a market buy when you close a sell position. But that wasn't clearly stated here. It was just stated that a market sell of 0.35 on XAUSD, right? And also that's the position that was triggered. And also I closed another position on buy, right, on 0.35, also on what they call it, XAUUSD, which doesn't make any sense at all. That this stuff's triggered, and then this was actually a very last trade, right? This was the very last trade, and then it was somehow closed using a US IP address, and all of the previous trades or passing the account were not closed using US IP address. Now this US IP address is completely unknown. I don't know how they generate it, and if you've seen this US IP address also on your end, also remember to drop it in the comment section to make others aware. After that email, I responded with this. There was absolutely no point in time, no scenario at all when I used a VPN or VPS or was in the US logging into my MT5 account or triggering a trade, right? From the document to Saint, I also noticed your evidence was that the sell on XAUSD was taken on my account as part of my trading positions when there were absolutely no sell positions on my account. I'm also curious why is the exact moment of fully passing the account that is written there as the date and time of evidence. Nothing is adding up. Then they are telling me that if I don't accept it, right, if I don't accept the claim and all of those stuffs, basically, we'll have no choice but to proceed on the with the termination of the account in accordance with our policies. Now, this is exactly what happens all the time. When a lot of my students were requesting that I do a review on this prop firm, I just saw it as, well, there's no point, because I also saw videos of guys showing certificate of passing, which of course we have 2 certificates here of passing, right? And then guys also like show profits, withdrawals and all of those stuff. So I was like, okay, well, there's really no point. Maybe these guys complaining, maybe they are just not trading nicely or something, like maybe there's a problem somewhere. Until I decided to try it and saw it for myself, because I couldn't just do a review about a prop firm that I never really tried at all, right? So because of that, I decided to try it. And just what they were complaining about, the KYC, that of the triggering trade on their own didn't really happen this time around. It did not really happen. I might have to try that again, maybe on a different scenario. That didn't really happen, let's be honest. But then that of the KYC occurred. And this is what they've been using to knock out a lot of traders. Now, I have other prop firms that I'm going to be trying. I'm going to follow their minimum trading days. I don't want to hit any targets within a day or something. I'm going to follow their minimum trading days just like I did here. I'm going to follow every single rule that is stated on their accounts, including their consistency rule. And then I'm going to see what happens after that also. And I'm talking about some of the top prop firms out there. The only problem here is the outcome after passing these accounts by following all the rules. They tend to generate their own results and then hit you with that and take you out of the game. Now for the third, which is the last, I'm going to show you the exact strategy I used in passing these accounts. I'm just going to show you a preview of it, and on a different date we're going to do a full video on the strategy. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to map out my rejection zones around the spot, what you can also call your resistance zone, just around the zone here, just around the spot here, right? Good. Next up, I want to check out if there are any trend lines that's also existing leading to the top here, right? Any trend line at all. And in my case, I can actually see a nice trend line here that was heading towards the top like this. So all I just want to do is this. I want to watch out from when this my trend line actually coincides with this my resistance zone that is actually around the zone here. Now, if I look at it, it coincides around the spot. So the next thing I want to look out for is for liquidity to get created. As the market drops towards the bottom to hit out a lot of buyers that I might be thinking of buying on this trade. Now, after that has happened, that it drops down to create liquidity, right, then I can easily go into this trade when it pushes out of this zone. When it pushes out of this zone. In my case, I can see it pushed out of this zone here, so I can easily just go into this trade and storm it towards the highs just like this. But then that's just not all. Also, I'm applying just 1% per position on my trade to catch about 5% as profit. That's like going to my trade here, and then my stop loss would just be around this region here, and then I'm targeting just around this region at the top here. Now what happens is when my chart actually moves into profit, I can easily just lock it, go on break even, or just lock in my profit a little bit here, and then once it pushes towards the top, it can just go and hit my take profit, or can just drop down a little bit to hit my trail stop that I've already placed here. So either way, I'm always in profit. If it pushes up to hit my take profit, good, I'm in massive profit. If it drops down to hit my trail stop, I'm also leaving that trade in profit, and then I can just continue the process just like that. Regards the strategy, I just gave you a summary of it. We'll do a full video as regards the strategy on a later date. You might want to see all of our trades for this week on our private channel and also on our free channel. Let me show you that now. Here, our first take profit got hit around this region, our second take profit got hit here, our third take profit actually got hit around this region here. And if you notice, we actually held this trade for 2 days straight. That's, we held it from on the 5th, right, on the 5th of January through to on the 6th of January. Our second trade, we also held this for 2 days straight, where our first take profit was hit here, our second take profit here, and also our third take profit around this region here. Now, this was actually very clean also. Here were all our trades, right? These were just all of our trades, right? You can just see all our take profit just getting hit really nicely like that for the week, right? So the week was actually just really beautiful. Like, the week was just really great. You can see our very last trade, right? So this was just really nice. TP1 hit, TP2, TP3 hit, right? So everything was actually just really beautiful for this week. So that's just how it goes, guys. Remember to like and subscribe.